This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details. Modelers.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to video message number 29.
This is Beaverville. Come on in.
It's Bob here. I got a question.
I woke up yesterday morning with a spring in my step.
Start later, please.
I could never know what the day was.
Fast forward ahead.
Listen up, the ratings just came in for last month. We are number one. We just grabbed every key demographic. Super duper. That's nice. Way to go. Neato, gang.
Yes.
Boy, that is good news.
It is the 6th day of June already, 2025. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Friday morning on the Power Trip Morning Show. I see my main man, John Creasel, over there, and right him, Nate Henderson, a couple of American heroes over there. They're in the main studio with Corey Cove. Meets us, Paul Lambert is here. Later, Marnie Galarnar. We'll have Mark Parrish, a cast of thousands, and the head coach himself, KOC, Kevin O'Connell, coming in today to play the initials and talk a little Vikings football. So, man, what a show we have for you today. Thanks for tuning in. Again, my name is Chris Hockey. Here's some comedy from one of the greats, Brian Regan. You'd be amazed how many comedians cite him as the best comedian going right now. Here's an example as to why. It's comedy on the Power Trip Morning Show on a Friday morning. Come on in. I'm glad you're here.
That's all I do, man. Just watch TV all day, eat donuts. You know how I feel bad for the donut ladies when you go into these donut places? Because people can never make up their mind, you know? But the donut ladies know how to get back at you. They do the subtraction for you in front of the other customers and make you look like an idiot, you know? Yeah, I'll take a dozen donuts. I'll start with 7 chocolate. You have 5 left. Oh, how many? 5. I have 5 donuts left, everybody. If I order one more, then how many would I have left? How many would I have at that point if I ordered another donut right now, this point in time? That's my question, donut lady. You think the donut ladies would just snap and shoot somebody, you know? Yeah, I'll take a dozen donuts. I'll start with 4 chocolate and 2 strawberry and 3 Bavarian Crunch twists and 5 strawberry. No, 1 honey wagon twist. No, 3. No, 2. No, 1. Put them back. Let's go outside and think it over, huh?
And I was in Miami with my new beach house.
The finish line is waiting.
We're just playing by the rules.
Fate is on your side. You hear the distant thunder. There's lightning in your stride.
Friday, June 6th, 2025, Power Trip Morning Show. I'm Corey, that's Chris, that's Paul, there's Zach. There's the gentleman, John Creasel, one hero to another. There's Nate Henderson, John, Nate, John.
We're just catching up. I like to see what's going on in America's Army. Got all
State is good?
Excellent. Readiness is high. Yes.
Well, we're ready because Kevin O'Connell's going to be here in like 2.5 hours.
How about that?
KOC,
Hell yeah, man.
Let's go. The NFL Coach of the Year for the NFL.
The NFL?
Yes, the professional football something or other. I'm not sure. No idea. Sauce, you know what NFL stands for?
Isn't it the Not Fun League?
Or Not for Long?
Not for long.
Yeah. Nasty fellas.
Or no effing legs.
I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon.
No, he is not.
No. I see all these, these clickbait aggregate X accounts where they'll do lists, and there was build the perfect franchise. So there'll be like front office, this, that. Kevin O'Connell in all of these. I've seen 2 or 3 of them. Coaching, it says Minnesota Vikings as part of the perfect puzzle piece to make the perfect franchise. So
sweet.
Yep. And what is he? Last year was year 3.
He came over.
Or was it 4?
I think last year was year 3. Yeah.
Yes. And so you see too, each year he's gotten better. First year, it's like And it's easy from the couch, Oh, we should have done this. We should have done that. And each year he seems to be getting better with the situational stuff. I can't imagine what that's like. From a coordinator to you're managing the whole thing. It's wild.
Yeah, Sauce, over-under on KOC being the head coach, 9.5 more years. Over-under.
Over.
So he's in it for the long haul. This is a Mike Tomlin kind of a situation. He's just going to be with the Vikings for like 20 years.
I would take the over, yes.
Take the over.
Yeah.
Love it.
I think he has the temperament for it because it doesn't seem like he pisses people off. He's easy to be around, it seems like, of course. You got guys like Zim. When it was going well, it was like, yeah, Zim's going to be the guy for quite a while. Obviously an older guy. But then as you can see, when it starts turning, then all the stuff comes out. Oh, he was tough to deal with. He didn't allow any fun in the locker room, took all the TVs out and all these things, and then just gone that quick.
How am I supposed to watch Wheel?
Yeah.
I know.
The TV's out of there.
Right.
Have you ever watched Wheel in a sports book?
How's Hawk ever supposed to watch Blue Bloods?
Yeah.
Yeah, naked.
Oh.
I don't know who that was.
Do you watch the Chicagos?
Oh,
of course. Yeah.
man.
He
Real
watches
good.
all the Chicagos.
They're real good, man.
3 of them?
Yeah, Fire, MD, and what's the other one? Chicago.
Stripper.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, Chicago Stripper. That's about a guy who takes paint off walls.
Yeah.
It's not what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, but
I
you
still
watched it.
master it, but
Come again?
Exactly.
Wow.
You pull your parts?
Constant, bitches!
Hey, John, can we do Wheel of Fortune fan line? Did you watch it last night?
I didn't.
You didn't?
I took the family golfing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right on.
Well, that's just great.
It's on the DVR, though.
Let me ask you then you don't even need to have seen this to have a take on this.
Guess what?
So a guy is really struggling to figure out hammock between 2 palm trees. That's the puzzle, right? Hammock between 2 palm trees. And as you can tell, Pee-wee is struggling.
Yeah.
He's guessing letters, and by the way he's guessing letters, guessing them correctly, you can tell he's panicking because he's like, I should know this.
Was he on the train?
Well, that's where this is going.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So-
like hockey was?
I don't
It finally clicks with like 2 or 3 letters to go. It's almost filled in, and it finally clicks. Oh, it's hammock between 2 ferns. Or, sorry, ferns. Between 2 ferns. Between 2 palm trees.
Yeah.
But then he lands on the Express. And Ryan goes, okay, you're on the Express. $1,000 left. And the guy goes, Ryan, I'd like to solve.
Oh, no!
No.
I feel sorry
And
for you.
I as, hey, them's the rules. I'm like, if I'm one of the other 2 contestants, I'm like, Ryan, shut up. Because Ryan goes, well, don't you want to call some letters? They're worth $1,000 apiece. And he goes, oh, I guess. It's like, if I'm one of the other 2 contestants, I'm like, no, that guy wants to solve it. If he doesn't know the rules, if he wants to leave the $3,000 or $4,000 off the board,
Pat always
shut
did that
your
too.
mouth. Right.
Pat always did that,
I wonder
too.
what it says in the Wheel of Fortune rules about Ryan, quote, assisting on game theory. Right?
It
That
has
guy wanted to solve.
And I get it. And I like that. I know Twitter gets very divided over this because we've discussed it before where he will be like, are you sure?
Right. He's tipping his hand.
And they're
you
like,
might want
that's
to call
not
some
fair.
letters.
But
It doesn't make any sense to me.
forever, Pat Sajak always did that. And I kind of liked it. But I think now, with as much as the game has changed, and I think for the easier, that they could dial back some of that. Because, yeah, this isn't playing with your 6-year-old kid.
This is for tens of thousands of dollars.
And it could make the difference in the very end that he got the assist and stuff. Because it's not like he's going to be like,
right.
If they're like, D, it'd be like, that actually was guessed. Do you want to guess something else? Do you want to guess a different letter? Yeah. I hear you there.
Yep. And this has been Wheel of Fortune Fan Line. Thank you. Now that's a show I'd like to do.
That would be fun.
Wheel of Fortune Fan Line.
It would get some listeners.
It would.
It seems
John,
like
your thoughts. Yeah, that would be it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we could do like 3 hours on whether or not Ryan should help him ride the Express.
Yeah.
Hot takes out of the Twin Cities, I bet.
It's
That
gotta
was
be
the after the Wolves game that they won, that they crushed OKC in the sports book. Tim and my wife and everyone, they're like, all right, game's over. We should go. Because they kept trying to get me out of there. They're like, Wolves are going to win. I said, I want to soak this up. They're like, all right, we'll come back, do a celebratory shot after the game, and then we'll go play slots. And then after the game, Wheel of Fortune came on, and I was like, I'm going to stay for another half hour. And I was in the sports book alone at that point because everyone was gone.
That's next level addiction.
Hell yeah.
But I have a lot of respect for that.
The wheel.
The wheel, man. God, I love the wheel.
So good.
No. Yeah, I'm on KOC's Wikipedia page, and at the bottom of it, where they have all the references. Did we ever talk about this? There's a Chris Thomason story from 2023 that says father of Vikings coach Kevin O'Connell had key role in getting mafia boss John Gotti behind bars.
That Barrero's talked about it.
Yeah, so's PA.
Did we ever talk about that? I don't remember that.
Or it's PA, yeah. I'm sure
talks
Barrero
about it all
has
the time, yeah.
Crazy.
I'm going to click on the link. If it's not behind a firewall, or a paywall, I'm going to read this.
Hello.
Won't that be a little spooky as a young man, though?
Oh, yeah, retired FBI agent.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure the family was probably on a little bit of a watch then. Don't want to upset the mafia.
No.
Evidently we did.
Worked for the FBI from 83 through 2007.
Wild. That's a good run.
Yeah, man.
Imagine the stories he has.
Yeah. Some greasy ones.
Real greasy.
Pretty cool. All right. Anyway, all right. See you tomorrow, everybody.
So KOC coming in. What time's he getting in?
About 8.
He'll be great. I can't wait. He's such a good dude. He's super nice. He's great. I'm excited to see him.
Are you going to be bummed that he's going to be in that seat? You get
no,
thrown
not
off?
at all. Not at all. No. Unless we do a spelling bee again. Then
I should do that right before password today.
No. I'm good. I'm good. No. Plus, that's a 2-man game. My partner is outstanding. So I think we can run you guys down today.
It's going to be must-watch TV.
I think we can run you guys down.
I think you can, too.
It'll be a big day.
As long as your partner on cruise doesn't say Tom is the first clue.
That was not good. Not good.
The way he looked at me, too, he was trying to use telepathy to put that in my mind.
It could be a million.
And I was like, when he said Tom, I was like, oh, no. Because you've got 5 seconds to think of. And I said Brady, which is a terrible guess. But I'm like, that's, in my mind, the first time that comes to mind. And Brady really isn't a word, but man, that was tough.
But then the next word was carnival. The next clue was carnival. That didn't get it. So then all he has to do is say something like ship.
Yeah.
But then he says something. What did he?
Actor.
Actor.
Which again is
there's a few actors.
Oh, Rose.
That was tough. The magic ran out. Yeah. Those gals are good.
They are good.
They are good.
Yeah.
I mean, for us to win that, everything had to go our way. And I don't think really anything went our way.
No.
So, whoever wins today has their work. Don't do that. Don't put that in your mind. You got to have a killer mind right there, Playboy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like last week when Tommy yelled at Zach when Zach said, I would like to win, I just don't have the ability to do so. And he said, nice partner I have, nice attitude. And then you guys got hot, Zachary. And you promised yourself you would never believe.
And then we hit a wall.
You sure did.
It happened.
A brick wall like that one.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. Sorry about that.
Sauce, who brings us the first segment?
My amazing friends at Gutter Helmet and GutterHelmetMN.com. Never clean your gutters again.
All right, Mr. Z later, Marnie later, Parrish later, KOC later. John Kriesel is here. This is the Power Trip Morning Show on the Fan.
Oh my God!
The Fan.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome. It's 5:48 Power Trip Morning Show. Big day on the show today. Excited about it. Lots to get to. Coach is going to be here. It's going to be fun.
Zach wrote on the whiteboard, welcome to KFAN, Coach Kevin. Like if we were in Pee Wee football, we'd say, hi, Coach Kevin.
Yeah, brilliant.
We never use that whiteboard.
We really don't.
So.
Are you sure you're going to leave that up when he walks in? Now, he is going to be sitting facing away from that, so he won't see that. You feel good about that? You can leave it up there if you want.
I think it's nice, right?
I think it's nice. It says welcome. It's very welcoming.
Yeah.
We're happy to have them.
We are, yes.
I like this. This is kind of...
It is nice.
This is elevator music.
Yeah.
I love elevator music.
Ours has none.
Did somebody get stuck in it yesterday?
Well, they were having issues. Like, it was like even in the morning, like some guy came in with me and he was trying to go to level 4 and it wouldn't let him go to level 4.
Oh, that lady was there.
So
that's sad. Did not have like the right clearance.
Well, level 4 is always open usually.
Is that the floor that Musk takes a dump in?
Yes.
In the women's bathroom.
In the women's bathroom.
Because it's not used and it's clean.
Have you ever used that bathroom to dump, Hawk?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
And other things.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm wondering if Musk is the reason then.
He could be. Well, then your guys' keys should still work there. But his should be deactivated.
Well, you don't even need the key to get to. Like, it was weird, man. And then they were having issues. People getting people up here.
It's definitely weird.
Yeah, it was weird.
For Jeff Reardon.
Yeah.
Is he still with us?
I would bet.
Who the hell is Jeff Reardon?
He was on the Twins World Series team.
Hey, before we go any further, I do want to wish a very happy birthday to the greatest father-in-law of all time, Tom Sylvester.
Why didn't you guess Sylvester when Rosie said Tom?
What's his last name?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Good old Tom.
Sly.
The guy who
Tom's
the very
great.
first time I was meeting, or my buddy Tim was meeting him, you were there, Paul. You were both, that's the drunkest I've ever seen you.
I was at the golf course with Scott Taylor, and we were drinking double vodka lemonades, and I bet I had 7 of them.
You were matching Tim punch for punch, which was insane.
6.
And I said, fellas, don't mess this up. I trust Tim with my life.
Oh, thanks.
And Tim's like, well, I trust you as well.
I'm just
but
kidding.
you weren't there. You were physically there, but not mentally.
No, I was not. It was a tough time.
Tim's like, I got this. And I was like, I don't know if you do. And father-in-law shows up. Tim puts his arm around him and says, would you like some D? That is the first words he ever said to my father-in-law.
Yeah.
And my heart stopped and I was like, well, I don't think this relationship's going to work out long term because my wife is best buddies with her dad. Mm-hmm. And he looked at Tim and said, no, thank you. And I was like, there's a chance. Mm-hmm. Good old your guy, Chris.
I love him.
Your guy needs help.
I love that guy.
So happy birthday, Tom. You're the best. We'll see you tonight.
And happy birthday, Tim, too. I know it's not his birthday, but
yeah, happy birthday, Tim.
Just for the forewarning.
Yes.
Yeah.
And by the way, Jeff Reardon's still with us, 69 years old.
Nice.
So happy
Wow,
birthday,
nice.
even though his birthday's in October. Happy birthday to Jeff Reardon.
Happy
not very
birthday,
old.
JR.
Yeah. Good for him.
He's 12th all-time on the saves list. He had that many saves. He was
In
that prolific.
MLB?
Overall or with the
Or
Twins?
It says Reardon currently ranks 12th on the all-time saves list with 367.
Wow.
No kidding.
How many times have you been saved, Corey?
0.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's what I thought.
Yeah, he's 12th. God damn.
He's a 4-time All-Star.
How long did he play?
He played from 79 till 94.
That's a good run.
Yeah, that is a good run. He played for the Mets, Expos, Twins, Red Sox, Braves, Reds, and Yankees.
And
We
the
learned something.
Rockford Crows.
And the Rockford Crows.
He's got like a yacht rock singer look to him.
Yes, he does.
Oh, for sure. That's a powerful beard.
Yeah.
Looks a little bit like the bearded guy from Superman, from General Zod's crew.
General Zod.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That guy's tough.
Yep. Real tough.
He couldn't talk, though.
Nope.
Are you guys going to see the new Superman?
I don't know.
It looks kind of good.
Yeah, it looks kind of good.
It's kind of good. It'd be good to actually have a movie in the theaters I want to see.
What about the new Wes Anderson film?
Yeah, it looks pretty good. I like those films.
I saw an ad during basketball last night. Volume wasn't up.
It's getting good reviews, isn't it?
Yeah,
He's another home run, though.
Yeah, the last one. Was it the last one with like the rocket and the alien? That was
long.
That was not good.
Finishing scheme on Rotten Tomatoes is 78%. Ballerina is 72%. I've never seen any of the John Wick films.
They're real good.
This is the John Wick universe.
Don't mess with his dog.
The first one's solid. Chris, when is Superman going to be in theaters?
Man, that's a good question.
I think 4th of July weekend.
Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds right. That sounds right.
What's your favorite Wes Anderson film, Hawk?
Steve. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I like Steve.
Who doesn't?
Happy birthday, Steve.
Yeah, happy birthday.
It's everyone's birthday today.
Bottle Rocket, Rushmore, Royal Tenenbaums, Life
A+.
Aquatic, Desert Unlimited. Fantastic Mr. Fox, Moonrise Kingdom, Grand Budapest, Isle of Dogs, French Dispatch. Asteroid City was not good.
No, Asteroid City was terrible.
The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar and Finish. I'd probably go Tannenbaums.
Yeah, Tannenbaums is outstanding.
Or Fantastic Mr. Fox, which is sneaky good, but it's animated, so.
I've had a hard run, Dad.
I know.
I know. Yeah.
Oh,
I know.
Moonrise Kingdom's really good too.
She's always.
Oh, Tannenbaums is so. Yeah, Moonrise Kingdom is excellent.
The Life and Times and Tongue of Paul Giamatti.
Oh. Wow.
Happy birthday, Paul Giamatti.
Happy birthday.
It's one of his best.
It's outstanding.
A couple of the sales gals yesterday were going, I don't get the birthday bit. What's happening? I'm like, this is going to take too long to explain.
Yeah.
Forget it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. We're just yelling out fake birthdays, real birthdays, trying to sneak in names. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's right.
But happy birthday to Paul Giamatti.
Yeah, happy birthday, old Polly Molly.
Pig Vomit from
Pig Vomit. He's only 58.
Howard Stern's Private
Yeah,
Part.
he looks like he's 72.
Yeah, he does look like he's 72.
I Can't Talk It Away.
Yeah. God, he's great in the Howard Stern movie.
Yeah, he's real good. He's also good in Straight Outta Compton.
He's in that?
Yeah, he is their manager guy.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good film, man.
Yeah.
I think he thought you were kidding.
Yeah, I
like
thought
you were
kidding.
pretending that he was like, Eazy-E.
Yeah. I thought you were
Played
kidding.
by Paul Giamatti.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he is.
He's that good of an actor.
He has
though.
that
He can do
range.
it. He does. He's that good.
He's Jerry Heller.
That's right. You look like a Heller.
Yeah.
Eazy-E's got some bangers.
Oh,
Man.
yeah.
There's a store,
yeah.
but don't point. Walk inside and gank the joint.
Yep.
Best line ever written.
Yep.
Was that Shakespeare or Eazy-E? You tell me. He took one.
Eazy-E does have
You
some
mean a
slammers.
211? Yeah, I liked it a lot. You can just imagine me in my Trans Am at about 18 years old.
Oh, yeah.
Driving around with little NWA screaming out of the speakers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Was this before or after that dad beat you up?
About the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Straight Outta Compton. It's the brother that will smother your mother and make your sisters think I love her.
Yep. That's again.
Absolute lyrical genius.
Yeah, take that, Drake.
Yeah, take that.
Yeah.
Better than Drake.
Don't know, don't
Way
show,
better.
don't care about
Way
what's
better.
going on in the hood.
Give me that nut. That is
Great
about
song.
as good as it gets.
Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah. Planner's guy.
It's what my wife walked down the aisle to.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. And her dad was just nodding his head to it.
He river danced down the aisle.
Yes, you did.
I was there. I missed that.
Yeah. Tim's just handing out D.
Oh, yeah.
He was.
Yeah.
Would you like some? Would you like Oprah? You get a D. You
Yeah,
get a D.
yeah. That's Tim.
Did you guys
Classic Tim.
You guys know who Sabrina Carpenter is?
Of course, she's one of the biggest stars in the world right now. The kids love her.
Did you see the video she posted teasing her video?
No.
I dare you.
Teasing a new video?
Yeah.
What should I Google here? Just
Sabrina Carpenter's ass.
Sabrina. Oh, okay.
Is she old enough to drink?
She's 26.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Just looks extremely. Although that is extremely young to me.
Yeah.
Well, you're 110.
I am. Yeah, I'm a grandfather to Chloe.
Yes, you are.
She likes to. She's about as horny as Chris, if not more.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, I'm not even.
Oh,
The video is man-child,
Yeah.
and it starts with a bird riding a turtle.
a bird riding a turtle?
That's not a euphemism.
No.
And then she gets thrown out of a car.
Is she okay?
She must not have been.
Oh,
Yeah.
the video premieres in 3 hours.
Well, that's not even the right teaser. There's one where she's just hitchhiking. And, it's this one. Yeah. And she's, would you look at that?
My God. It's over.
Hold on, wait till she starts again. Come on now. Would you look at there? I mean, not only do I stop and pick her up, I just go ahead and.
By the way, he's been.
Chris would be like that scene from Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas where he just screeches to a halt and
Oh,
says,
yeah.
"Get in."
You see the size of those bats?
Yeah.
Look at the cheeks on that.
By the way, he's been looking
come
at
on.
this for like 4 days.
Those jeans cover only half of her slabs.
Yeah.
He called me into the studio 2 days ago to show me this.
Yeah.
He's real horny.
Come on. I don't blame you.
Wasn't it SNL 50? Was it SNL 50 that she sang with Paul Simon, and it looked like it looked like Willow Ufgood and his wife were about to go down to the river.
Yeah.
Like they were the two smallest people I'd ever seen in my life.
I did not realize that was her. If she had turned around, I'd have been like, yeah, that's her. Oh, shut up.
What? Nobody said anything.
I'm talking to myself.
Oh. No.
Forgive me, Galinda.
Galinda, the witch?
The good witch?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She's my god.
Yeah, he's seen a video. You've seen that, right?
What's that?
You've seen members of Wizard of Oz get it on, right?
Sure.
So, the kids say we should ship people. Like, people should be in a relationship. We should ship them.
Yeah.
Give me another character from Wizard of Oz that the Tin Man would be a good match with.
Probably the Wicked Witch.
Whoever loves a sheet metal wiener.
Yeah.
Was that just the first female character you could think of that wasn't Dorothy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oil!
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who should the Lion hook up with?
Whoever he damn well pleases.
Yeah, probably the Nice Witch.
The Nice Witch. What about the Scarecrow?
The Scarecrow should probably call seconds on the Wicked Witch.
What about the guys in the Lollipop Guild?
I don't know. I haven't thought that far.
Think about it during the break. Front Page Sports is next. This is the Power Trip Morning Show on the Fan.
6:04, everybody being cool. What's the weather? Anybody know?
A little bit cooler today, 70 degrees, the high. It's 60 right now. Cloudy skies above. We're dropping down to 59 tonight.
Oh, we're going to drop down to 59. Take off our panties.
My
Why are you wearing panty sauce?
You're so horny today.
I don't know what panties has to do with they're just a way to cover your nethers. There's nothing horny about them.
You know how great it would be?
You're horny with them.
If one of those TV meteorologists, like a local news meteorologist, like sang their forecast one day.
Like Blaze
That'd be
Bodine.
really cool.
Just pulled out a piano.
Yeah. You know what I find interesting is that every meteorologist has to say, I'm meteorologist John Thompson. The rest of us don't do that.
Happy birthday, John Thompson.
You know what I mean, though? It's like, hi, I'm radio fart joke teller Chris Hockey. Why do meteorologists get to do that?
Because they're serious.
They're certified, maybe? The AMS?
I'm certified.
Well, then half of them are wacky, though, too. So they come off as, well, I'm going to be a professional and announce I'm a meteorologist, but now I'm going to do some wacky bits before I throw it back over to death and destruction at the main desk.
Yeah.
Like Chris Schaefer.
I'm
what a
traffic
clown.
reporter Uncle Cracker.
Right.
Schaefer's the best.
A meteorologist, Blaze Bodine.
Yeah.
He'll always throw in some like Minnesota sports devastation. Like if there's a bad weather forecast, he's like, disappointing next couple days, just like our sports teams or whatever. Yeah. Always cracks me up because I feel you, bro.
He is really good. That guy, Chris Schaefer.
Yeah, it's him.
He at least, that's the thing, is he brings a little bit of Ian Leonard also. Awesome. Some of them get too serious where you're like, yeah, we get it. It's not
Belinda all the time.
Belinda. You're so serious.
The good witch. Jeez.
Galinda.
Yes.
Belinda.
Time now for Front Page Sports, presented by Holiday Station Stores.
Holiday Station Stores. Buy 3 Mountain Dews for just $5. Mix and match any 20-ounce flavors of Mountain Dew you want for a limited time at Holiday.
Honey, please.
Can't afford not to.
Do it right now.
Tommy's here.
Maybe you're on your way to work and you're driving in right now and you see a Holiday.
Oh, that guy fell.
Pull over. Get some gas.
A large man.
Go get some Mountain Dew
Get
at
some
Holiday. Mountain Dew.
Oh.
Aaron Rodgers is signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He plans to fly there today, join the team before next week's mandatory minicamp. He is 41 years old. He did have conversations with the Vikings, but the Vikings are all in on J.J. McCarthy.
Did you guys see the video of him on the ayahuasca?
Sure did, yeah.
Yeah.
He's having a great time.
How caterpillars are butterflies, but then the butterflies are like, wow, I'm a caterpillar that gets to fly now.
To me, that's just plain nuts.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, living that life.
Living that
you
life.
Just get to fly and smell flowers.
be around Flowers. Good luck, Pittsburgh. By the way, the Steelers are at the Jets week 1.
How about that?
The funniest thing possible is he tears his Achilles 4 plays in.
Oh, see.
Corey!
At the Jets?
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be great.
Give him a lighter American flag.
Yeah.
I think that's what did it.
It strained him.
Yeah.
So, we get the old, not rematch, but Justin Fields and Aaron Rodgers week 1.
That'll be...
Go Jets.
Yeah.
We play him again in Europe.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the Dublin game, right?
That's right.
I think I saw yesterday their odds didn't move.
Yeah, that doesn't
They're
say
still
much,
40 to
right?
1, and they were 40 to 1 before it.
That sounds fair.
Yeah. He's old.
And also, that just isn't a roster that's Super Bowl ready, which is weird that he goes there. That's why he wanted to come here.
Yeah.
Right?
I think that tells you all that needs to be
Yeah,
told.
that he liked this roster way more than he liked the Pittsburgh roster.
Yeah.
Best of luck. The Indiana Pacers shocked the world. One game, 111 to 110 over the Oklahoma City Thunder. The only time they led the entire game was with 0.3 seconds to go when Tyrese Halliburton hit a long 2 to take a 1-point lead. Their first lead is the only one they needed. They win game 1 after trailing, by the way, 15 points in the fourth quarter. That is the 5th time this postseason they've come back from 15 plus.
How about that?
I think his 3rd game-winning shot too.
Yeah.
He's insane.
He's
that
insane.
Game. And did you guys watch most of the game?
I didn't watch a second of it.
I just saw the final 45 seconds.
Which that was huge, but the final 3 or 4 minutes was insane. It was weird because they were not close the whole time. They would start to make a run, and just like OKC did to the Wolves, OKC would push them away again, push them away. And really, I got the entire game. My thought was, OKC is just too good. This is not going to be a long series. They're too good. But Indiana just stays with you. They're annoying. And I'm not saying annoying to watch, but annoying to play against. They just don't quit. They hang around. And then I think it ended up being like a 14-2 run down the stretch. It's great. And OKC hit 39% of their shots. But a lot of it was because of good defense. It was wild.
But the final 15 seconds were key, right?
Yes.
Oklahoma City has the ball and a 1-point lead. And with, 9-10 seconds to go, Shea does the little turnaround spin bit and gets a really clean look from about, 12 feet and misses.
Yeah.
That one goes in. They have a 3-point lead. But instead, Indiana gets the rebound, does not call timeout, just like, we're going to go. And Halliburton pulls up from 19 or something. It was just inside the 3.
Yep.
And he drilled it.
They are 13-0 when they score more than 110 points.
God, it's nuts. If game 1 of the NHL Stanley Cup final and game 1 of the NBA finals are any indicator of how the series are going to go, it is going to be a awesome couple weeks coming up. Those were 2 outstanding games.
You just wonder if game 1 being won by the Pacers wakes up the nation a little bit, because I still don't care, but I wonder if basketball cares more, because if it had been a 15-point OKC win, then everybody, I think, would have seen the score and been like, yep, that's why I'm not going to watch it. They're just going to roll it.
That's a good point.
So maybe this gets a little group semi-interested, going, all right, I should probably see if this is going to be an actual series. Now, my guess is Oklahoma City wins by about 70 on Sunday.
Yeah, they're 11.5 point favorites.
Yeah, just to prove a point that they messed this up, and they know they messed this up, and they're not going to let it happen again. So I would be pretty shocked if they didn't win game 2, but we'll see. That's Sunday.
I mean, if you look at this turnover stats, Indiana had 25 turnovers. OKC had 7.
Jeez.
And to lose a game when you have those kind of stats is wild. 39% from the floor, though.
Here's some stats. How about the A's getting 17 hits and beating the Twins 14-3?
Wow.
Cut some more payroll.
Yeah.
The A's snap a 9-game losing streak. They had lost 20 of 21.
Hideous. It's so hideous.
David Festa absolutely rocked. 3 2/3, 6 hits, 8 runs, 3 home runs given up. All 4 Twins pitchers that pitched yesterday gave up at least 1 run. The Twins home again tonight, though. They host Toronto at 7:10.
Yeah, that's always a big series. Toronto, for some reason, as Bonus has said on his podcast and on this show, Toronto, the Blue Jays, this is like the place all the fans want to go.
Yeah.
And it'll be a huge crowd tonight at Target Field.
Along with their smoke.
along with their smoke.
Even when the Maple Leafs come to town, there's so many Toronto fans that travel here. I don't know
what is the deal. What are we missing?
Well, I've heard, at least with the Maple Leafs, it's cheaper to travel to other cities to watch the Maple Leafs than it is to buy a ticket in their own place.
Wow.
I can't imagine that's the same with the Blue Jays, but maybe that's just a summer getaway and they don't want to get too warm.
God, that's like, do you guys remember when people were flying to Europe because it was cheaper to see Taylor Swift there than getting tickets some cities in the U.S.? It was like, I'd rather just fly internationally. The demand there is lower. That's nuts. So you're saying the Maple Leafs can save money by coming to Minnesota and watching them at the X?
Well, with the Blue Jays, if they're decent, I mean, there is a lot more open seats at Target Field because fans are waking up. Yeah.
Interesting.
We'll see.
Stanley Cup final. Speaking of hockey, game 2 is tonight. The Panthers at the Oilers at 7 o'clock. Edmonton up 1-0 after Leon Draisaitl buries the game winner in overtime of game 1. I haven't seen, but obviously Edmonton's favored again.
Yeah, they're favored, I think they're minus 130.
God, that was a good game.
Yeah.
It really was.
Yeah, go Florida, please.
We've been pretty blessed here the last couple of nights between
also with you.
Stanley Cup and NBA. Some really good sports.
So even though the game was phenomenal, I have not read the story yet, but Ben Maller this morning on this very station about an hour and a half ago was talking about how it was like the lowest rated game 1 in a long time. Don't know why?
TNT.
The TNT
Dynamite.
factor?
Yeah, we're only on TNT. And then the last time it was on TNT was also on TBS and True TV. So that is I think it is actually higher on TNT alone. But compared to 2 years ago, because of the other two channels, it's lower. So it's one of those things about the NHL. I mean, they took the money. It was $1 billion+ deal, and so it sucks. I wish it was on network TV. But
do we need we don't need another episode of Elsbeth.
Yeah, Hawk loves that show.
Just put the hockey game on.
Hawk, you watch Elsbeth, right?
Real good.
Yeah, real good. Yeah.
It's just a cute way to say Elizabeth.
Real deep, right? Deep show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not as deep as your dad's.
Jeez. Dad's what?
He meant soul.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of you.
You cut him off.
I was trying to think of a good way to say it, and you cut me right off.
Yeah,
AKA the Lowry Hill Tunnel.
Yeah. I spilled in my truck with the giant weapons outside of it.
I still can't believe that guy survived.
I know.
That video, it looks like the cabin of the semi looks absolutely crushed.
Yeah.
The Lowry Hill Tunnel crash from 4 days ago?
Yes.
It goes sideways, and then the cabin basically goes right into that wall. How does he survive that? I mean, it looked like he got completely squished, but
I'm just happy
non-life-threatening injuries.
Not everybody in the area got shot, too, in the truck. It was an ammunition truck, right?
I thought that was a Minneapolis safety joke.
Yeah, me too. I thought
No. I guess maybe that's not how it works. But.
The cargo must not have been secured and it shifted, because otherwise I don't know how the hell that happened. Because if it's not secured back there, then it shifts. Because he was cruising and maybe going a little too fast, but not and then just flipped right over.
Scary, man.
You had something to say there, Nate?
Zach, that's not how ammunition works.
Oh, okay.
That's
good to have an expert in here. You mean a truck with bullets can't crash and just start shooting everything?
It's not a movie.
No, there's a long line of things that have to happen in a very specific order for bullets for rounds to fire.
Well, that's good.
You're acting like you're a weapons instructor or something, Nate. What the heck?
I watched a video once.
Zach thinks that truck tipping over is like Mentos and Coke.
Yeah, well played. Yep.
Well, if you're going to snort stuff, you might as well have good breath.
Snort Mentos and snort Coke.
Brilliant.
Well played.
All right, Mr. Z, in a second, we'll talk about Ballerina and about, what was the other one? Oh, yeah, the Wes Anderson movie. I guess we could even ask him about Superman. I don't know if he got to see Superman at that Vegas preview bit or not.
I bet he did.
And then we'll do what really matters.
Not a racist.
Macho Man's not a racist. Kevin O'Connell joins the show just before 8, plays initials at 8:15. This is the Power Trip Morning Show on the Fan.
Yeah. Welcome back, Patrick Mercer. Here we are. Cast of Thousands. Lots going on today. Coach KOC will be in a little bit later, along with some other people. But now we're going to talk movies.
Yeah, let's talk Mr. Z and movies. Hi, Mr. Z.
Hey, guys. What's up?
All right, let's talk Wes Anderson. The Phoenician Scheme, 78% on your favorite website, Rotten Tomatoes. Wes Anderson's not for everyone. I love Benicio del Toro. Seems like a very interesting dude. He told a story on Seth Meyers a handful of days ago. I saw it on social media yesterday, so I don't know exactly when it was. He had the script for this movie in his carry-on, and apparently there's multiple scenes that are headlined by a plane crash, like some kind of plane takeover, like ejecting a pilot. And he said TSA saw the script and temporarily had like 5 people come over and ask him questions because they weren't sure, and he had to convince him it was a movie script. So I don't even know what this movie's about. I just know there's some kind of a plane aspect to it.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. That seems like weird. TSA's reading scripts. That's kind of funny. Yeah, Wes Anderson, this very limited release on the movie, and it's weird that it kind of has gotten to this point where, I mean, as far as dollars wise, it's I haven't seen from I love Wes Anderson too. Haven't seen this particular one, but it seems like since why can't I remember since Tenenbaums, it's kind of been a little bit of a downhill as far as commercial ability for his movies. So.
Yeah, by the way, I guess it was something like they checked his bag for another reason, and Benicio del Toro said that he likes his fonts to be like oversized.
Yeah.
So they noticed like a headline that said "eject the pilot."
Wow.
So that made him curious, going like, "What is this?" And then they had to look through it, and he was like,
yeah, that's kind of weird.
I'm an actor.
Yeah. So yeah, well, no, that is interesting. But I didn't get a chance to see Phoenician. It just kind of slipped out here. But the only thing I am familiar with is the release pattern is very limited on this one.
Okay. All right. What about Ballerina? This is the John Wick universe. Is the name Ballerina big enough to get everybody that likes John Wick interested? Because otherwise, is it just kind of an obscure name? Maybe not sure if it's going to reel the average person in.
Yeah, they're trying. I know, like when you Google it or look at the reviews or whatever, I think they officially titled it "From the World of John Wick," Ballerina, something to that effect. And they did do a great job of letting people know that Keanu was in the movie as John Wick. I mean, he's not in it very much, but it is in the John Wick universe, and he is in it. The best thing about Ballerina, she's the camera loves her, and they spent so much time on the choreography and the fight scenes, the action scenes. So the movie itself is fine, but it's really just the amount of the fight scenes are very cool, very fun, very well lit, and are very well shot. I mean, and so the people who like this type of thing, the action, the fight scenes are fantastic.
All right, 72% on your favorite website, Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah,
we were asking about Superman. When does Superman come out, and what's the early vibe on it? Because man, I don't know, the dog trailer when they first released that trailer, and then half the trailer was just the dog with the cape. I'm like, I don't know about this, but now everything I've seen since, and I'm like, God dang it, am I going to go watch this? And now I'm on the fence.
Yeah, well, James Gunn directs it, and he's always worth giving a shot to James Gunn. And I don't know. It is supposed to be. What did I see? 5-10 minutes of it, maybe so far. They're keeping it pretty much under wraps. But no, it's supposed to be a big picture. July 11, the week after. Jurassic World comes out for July 4th weekend, and then the next week is Superman. So it's supposed to be a huge picture. And and the cast seems again, anything that James Gunn touches is usually at least worth watching from in that world.
Yeah, and I'm a fan of them kind of picking a mostly unknown Superman Right, you don't have to. Yeah. You don't have to deconstruct some other notion of who it is. It's not like you've got the baby goose to be Superman. Yeah. I've never heard of this guy before. I don't know this. I don't even know his name.
No, I can't remember either. And Lois Lane is also. They're both known, but yeah, you're right. They're not superstars. Even Nicholas Hoult is probably the most recognizable character in the show.
Yeah, and he plays.
But yeah, I can't wait. Can't wait to see it. Hey. Just have to throw out the little movie called Dangerous Animals that comes out this weekend. Is picking up some speed. Some people might have heard of it. Really fun. As far as horror movies go, it's kind of getting a little speed because it's. I think you guys even talked about it one time.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
It's the shark guy, the shark / serial murder guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he brings his victims out to the ocean, then feeds them to sharks, right, to get rid of the evidence.
Yeah, really well done. As far as horror movies go, it has a little bit of that fun. I think we talked about Bring Her Back last week, which is a good horror film, but there's that line of when we say good is a funny word because it has two different meanings. There's movies that are good movies, like well done script and all this stuff, and then there's good which is kind of more on the popcorn side, where entertaining maybe is a better word for it. And this falls into that aspect. And we may not hear a lot about it, but I think that's the one movie that might pop up after this weekend where you're going to hear about.
All right, Dangerous Animals. Thanks, Mr. Z. Appreciate it, man.
All right, guys. Thanks,
right,
bye.
Yeah, again, I'm not trying to say I'm a serial killer in waiting, but remember when we talked about the plot of that movie, I said that's kind of a good idea, just to take your victims out to the middle of the ocean and feed them to sharks.
Yeah. Well, if it happens, I don't think any of us are going to say, we didn't see that coming.
Right. I didn't say I was going to do that. I just said it's kind of a good idea.
So. This looks terrifying. I'm watching the trailer. Spooky.
Nailed it. What Really Matters is brought to you by our friends at Carboni's and Carboni's Pizzeria. I'll do scores and stats around the world of sports. Chris will change your life with something else. Former Gopher wide receiver Rashad Bateman, now Ravens wide receiver, signed a 3-year, $36.75 million extension with $20 million guaranteed. 25 years old, first rounder in 2021. He was the 27th overall pick. About 16.8 yards a catch last year, ranked third in the NFL. So kind of a big play threat, our guy Rashad Bateman. Good for him. That's a lot of money. What really matters, though, is this.
It is June 6th. 81 years ago today was D-Day, the largest amphibious invasion in the history of warfare. The statistics of D-Day, code-named Operation Overlord, are staggering. The Allies used over 5,000 ships, landing craft, to land more than 150,000 troops on 5 beaches in Normandy. Landings marked the start of a long and costly campaign in northwest Europe, which ultimately convinced the German high command that defeat was inevitable.
Operation Overlord. Didn't know that.
Yep.
What a cool name.
Crazy. You can't watch enough videos about how it went down, the planning, all of it. It's just insane. Something at that scale that we'll never see again.
You guys are both American heroes, Nate and John. Does it blow your mind, though, to hear even just to try to wrap your mind around what 5,000 ships even looks like? Right? Like, that's a gigantic number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the numbers are now, but just the idea that 5,000 ships all head basically in the same direction going, all right, we're all in this together. That's insane.
Well, and then coordinated with the paratroopers and everything. And the fact that because of weather, nothing went as planned. And it still ended up being a massive success, turned the complete tide of the eastern part of the war. Yeah, I cannot wrap my head around it. And I've seen a million videos on it.
There are times as a former infantryman in the 82nd where we would do jumps with like 2,000 people. And you'd always be like, super like, oh my gosh, there's going to be 2,000 people on the drop zone today. Yeah, they put like 35,000 angry paratroopers behind German lines that night, and they just went and did angry paratrooper stuff. Like, it's the kind of I don't know when the last time you guys watched Band of Brothers was, but it is one of those things that it is worth a second and third watch because they just got in the planes and were like, well, hopefully the weather holds and, the amphibious guys show up tomorrow morning because, we will have already been on the ground for 6 hours doing angry paratrooper stuff. And they just went and did it. And like John said, they were scattered all over the place and they just formed little bands of paratroopers from both the 101st and the 82nd. And they just moved out and drew fire and, went and found Germans, went and found Nazis to kill them.
Man.
And just to put it into perspective, there are rough between 250 and 300 ships in the United States Navy right now. A lot of those ones were landing craft, and those are easy to make and all that. But just think of that. We have the second largest Navy in the world. So, I mean, it's...
Was it last year you there, Zach?
Yeah. And I do want to encourage MinnesotaMilitaryRadio.com. It's all podcasted on there. We did, I say we, but it was Doug Wortham, our host, did a phenomenal job talking to a ton of people over in France, in Normandy, and also just the Minnesota connections as well to that day and to that whole fight. And it is, I mean, it's overwhelming. And lucky enough to actually see Normandy American Cemetery and see they have a bit of an area down there where they show like the actual stuff that was worn by the soldiers and how heavy everything was. And so you jump in the water and you not only have your own weight that you're trying to, fight through, but you have all this equipment, all this stuff. It's like I said, it's overwhelming and it's just an unbelievable thing that happened. And thank God the good guys won.
Yeah, for sure. And you think too, not to mention all that weight, or besides all that weight and swimming to shore and having to deal with that, you're being fired at by a ton of machine guns from elevated positions. It's remarkable, the bravery of those guys that went in there and turned the tide of the war.
Zach, were you able to walk around the cemetery, the Omaha Beach Cemetery?
Yes.
So I have a very good friend who was there today for the anniversary. And, they're in Normandy right now doing stuff. And yesterday he sent us some pictures from from the Omaha Beach Cemetery. And there was a French family there taking care of the grave that their family's responsible for. Mm-hmm. Both in France and in Luxembourg, there are just families that are responsible for a grave, an American grave. And they've been doing this since World War II.
Wow.
There's the wait list in Luxembourg is like 11,000 families deep waiting to have the honor to take care of one. And they go out and clean the headstone every couple weeks. And then like, it's a thing that they do because, politics aside, right? There's great remembrance and great honoring of those guys that did stuff, 81 years ago. And in places like that where, those stories are passed down, the families that live in that area, they remember those days when, the Germans were there and then the Americans showed up and some of the Americans died so that they could have their freedom back. And I think that's one of the greatest tributes that you can give is, to be responsible for one of those graves.
And for it to be passed down to generations. Correct. So the story never dies. And to appreciate the fact that, think of how lucky we are here. We can't even imagine what it would be like to have another nation controlling part of our nation with an invasion. It just won't happen here. Over there, those people, they needed us. They needed the world, and the world responded, especially the United States. So, yeah. It's crazy. Everyone take a moment today to think of those people that put it all on the line for the freedom of the world.
Yeah, we would. Said. There's a very good chance we wouldn't be sitting here.
Correct. Mm-hmm. Correct.
Very, very good chance. Yeah.
More of the Power Trip Morning Show after this on the Fan.
Fan.
Want to chime in on what's happening with your favorite KFAN program? Make your voice heard on the Bradshaw Bryant text line. Text 64686. That's 64686.
All right, listen. We're over here talking guns and stuff like that. Nate, what is your rank and what are you doing now?
I'm a sergeant first class, and I teach at the Special Forces Weapons Sergeant course.
And you are a
Special Forces Weapons Sergeant instructor.
Got it. Okay, cool. So we're talking weapons. Corey and everybody who's got a computer near you, look up, and we've talked about this before, but I've never gotten a chance to talk to Nate about this. Type in on YouTube or even on just Google, the letter C, and then RAM.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
These things, they're anti-missile, anti-aircraft guns that shoot 4,500 rounds a minute. And I was just asked, because I've been meaning to ask you every time you come in here about these things. Have you been near one of those things when they're shooting?
Yeah, it's terrifying.
It's got to be.
It's the most startling thing, because they're like the video that we're watching now is on a boat, and that's what they're originally designed for. But in other parts of the world, you can put them, just drop them on a military base, and then it becomes this protective system to protect the base from indirect fire, so rockets, mortars, artillery, stuff like that. And its job is to shoot bullets into the path of the rocket and detonate blow it up or shoot it down. And you'll be walking around the base, and sometimes those radar systems will pick up the projectiles before the alarm system will.
Wow.
And R2, and we call them R2D2, right? Like
it looks like it.
It looks like an R2D2.
Right.
And that'll start shooting before you'll hear the incoming alarm go off.
That guy with the voice, incoming.
Yeah, he's the worst.
The worst.
Wow.
It's usually too late, dude.
But that's like that video you're watching. Yeah. Every 10th round you see is a tracer. So for every one that you see, there's 9 that you don't.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
And it's like a laser beam.
And the reason I asked you about that as well, because I always wondered, there's nobody running that. So what you just said is like you could be, before there's an alarm system, that gun just starts firing out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, it's terrifying, because no matter how much you're used to it, it's so loud that you like. Yeah, and if you're anywhere close to it, it's a very startling emotional event, if you will.
I would guess. So when you're like when you were in Afghanistan, did that happen? Like you were walking,
oh, yeah.
you were just that's got to be freaky. I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine.
And I'm sure John can attest to this. There comes a point in time, and whenever you hear the alarm, you're supposed to go find hardened cover, whether it's a bunker or if you're in a concrete building, stay in there. Sometimes the sleeping quarters aren't necessarily protected.
Correct.
And you'll hear, you will have just laid down after a long day of, doing stuff and things. And all of a sudden you hear incoming, seek shelter now. And you're like, you look at your watch and you're like, I've been asleep for 42 minutes.
I'm too tired. Jesus, take me home.
If this is it, good, if this is it, good shots, bad guys. Yeah. And one time I was in a transient. I was moving, so I was in transient barracks, and there was a new unit that had just gotten there.
Things will get better, buddy. It's okay.
It's okay.
And the alarm went off, and they all sprinted out for the bunker. And this young lieutenant looked at me and he goes, "Sergeant, we need to go to the bunker." And I was like,
And if you're running to the bunker, you're increasing your chances of being hit too.
Exactly.
So
I was like, look, sir. I was like, I've had a long couple days. Like, I'm tired. I'm just gonna lay on this uncomfortable cot, and if I die, I die.
All right, Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, right. This is
relax.
This is what really matters, Corey. So this does matter. I complete transition here, and you were just talking to me about this off air. So if there's stuff you can't say, that's completely cool. But you've seen the documentary about getting Bin Laden, right?
Yeah.
Accurate?
Yeah.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Has everybody seen that yet?
I have not. It's on my list.
It's outstanding.
It's damn good.
Yeah, it's worth a watch. Like it's because it portrays the difficultness of how difficult it was to find him. Mm. Like, there were Zero Dark 30. I believe it's Jessica Chastain's character is a what is it when one person plays lots of people? What's the word?
Character actor?
But
like amalgamation of lots of different people who put, thousands and thousands of hours in blood, sweat, and tears into that search. And they were like, even before 9/11, he was a person of interest, and then, he was basically gone for 8 years. They had no idea even remotely where he was, and
After being in Afghanistan, can you see why it would be hard to find somebody like that?
Oh yeah,
it's just nowhereville,
and
right?
They were using like professional level, he never left that compound, right? His couriers went, halfway across the country to use their phones. Like, it's just, they were doing a great job of not being found. And then, once they found him, there's a lot, in the movie Zero Dark 30, Jessica Chastain's character is like, he's in that build. She's in a briefing. They're like, he's there. And she is talking to people who have to make decisions and, talk to the president, who's ultimately Obama's decision.
Yeah.
But yeah, that documentary is really good.
I need to see it.
One last thing.
Mm-hmm.
What is your opinion? Robert O'Neill. Is he the one that shot him?
If it's very it'd be very picky of me to sit here and say I don't think he did. The issue that is at hand is about 4 months after that raid, Extortion 17 got shot down, and that was a Chinook helicopter carrying most of SEAL Team 6. Most of the guys from the raid were on that helicopter, so there's not a lot of people who can either corroborate or refute that claim of his.
Interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
And so that's,
Well, he also, his personality and the things he says about others. I think it was last year before, he went on some tirade ripping on people who are not frontline service members, which is the scummiest thing you can do because frontline soldiers rely on support.
Yep.
Everyone in the military has a job that is important and critical to the mission. And so when someone starts going down that path, for those reasons, I'm out. See you later.
Right. I get it. Yeah, for sure. I'm sorry. One last thing real quick. Sorry, guys. So the part of the documentary that I find fascinating are those shadow soldiers, the CIA guys.
Yep.
Are those another level scary people?
Kind of.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Because I wasn't anything near Special Forces. So do some of them, Nate, start out Army Special Forces or Navy SEALs, and then CIA says, hey, we would love you as part of our team?
Yep.
Okay.
And it's one of those organizations that you don't work for, like they don't, like I've worked with other government agencies in the field, and then there are times where once you get done with stuff, they're like, hey, when you're out of the Army, give me a call. Mm-hmm. Right. And so you kind of have to be in the business to get in the business.
In the inner circle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's crazy to think about that right now. We don't know what's going on, and that's a good thing because there are people doing some bad things to bad people
for sure.
on our behalf.
Even just the 3 low times that we were over doing the serving our troops, and then I went over to Qatar to do a thing as well. There's always a group of different looking people sitting in one corner of the cafeteria eating that nobody's talking to.
No one talks.
Yeah. Nobody talks to them. They got beards.
Yeah.
They're not wearing military clothing. And I remember the first time we went over there, Saucy, remember that they were like, no, you don't talk to those folks.
No.
They come and go as
we
they
don't talk
please.
about Bruno.
Yeah,
so last year at the state fair, John, what's the name of the guy we were just talking
Dan
about?
O'Gara.
The guy who shot Bin Laden.
No. Dan O'Gara.
Sorry.
So he was. Chef Reactions was at the state fair. You guys were doing a bunch of food. Sure. Dan O'Gara brought a bunch of food, and I was just kind of sitting in the back chatting with him. And we were talking, and it came up that he does that the
serving our troops.
Serving our troops.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I said, hey, were you part of the group of that was in February 2019? He was like, well, I wasn't there, but I had helped facilitate that one. And I was like, so we landed in Qatar after coming back from deployment, and we had a very short time from coming out of the field to being in Qatar, and we hadn't had time to shower, shave. Well, we had time to shower, but not shave and kind of put on respectable clothes. but we could smell the steaks from across the base.
Wow.
And we went over, got in line, and I was first in line for our kind of group. And the guy handing out steaks like kind of looked at me.
You looking all mangy?
No, and I did look we all looked very, we would come back after 6 months. Like, we all looked pretty rough. And he kind of looked at me, looked at the other like 7 or 8 of us, and he goes, "Do you guys need 2 steaks?" No. Like, yes, sir. I'd love that.
Wow. Was that the one we were on, Sus?
I don't know, because that's one of the most humbling things I've ever been a part of, man.
Yeah, crazy.
That was
Right.
that changed my life.
Yeah. That's something.
Yeah.
And I can relate to those guys you were talking about, because I was also once the different looking person in a lunchroom eating alone that nobody wanted to talk to. So middle school was fun.
Yeah.
Oh, Jackie.
On that note,
yeah, it's over.
It gets better.
Oh, good.
It gets better.
Yeah.
The news is next. KOC joins in about an hour. The head coach of the Minnesota Vikings, Kevin O'Connell, will be here. Marnie Gellner in like 20 minutes. Parrish might be a late scratch. He's got some stomach issues here.
That's what he was saying. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing where you don't want him to come in.
Well, that's what we were saying is like if he comes in and craps his pants, then we're going to have to tell Kevin O'Connell that we promise guys on this show don't crap their pants 50% of the time. It's just the 50% of the time you've been here.
Yeah, 50% of the time.
But the fix is in, right? Like, look, everybody wants KOC to get on the board. If Parrish sits out, then there's only 3 people Kevin has to battle, not 4. That's advantage KOC.
Oh, sits. You said sits.
Sits,
Okay.
yes.
Greasy.
I don't know. We'll see. But the news is next. One more segment with John Kriesel. This is the Power Trip Morning Show on The Fan.
The Fan.